Thank you, Robin. Here to talk more about today's meeting, as well as the search for solutions to Kansas City's gun violence problem, we are joined live by Mayor Quinton Lucas and Moms Demand Action Executive President Angela Farrell-Zavala.
Welcome to you both. Thanks for coming in early. Mayor Lucas, later today you plan on announcing, it said, new measures to crack down on gun violence. This is a problem, as you know, that's been plaguing Kansas City for years. Can you give us a little bit of a sneak peek? What sort of measures are going to turn the tide here?
Frankly, it's going to be a number of different measures, some of which include regulations that get these modified handguns that are turning into machine guns off of our streets. The others would outlaw the transfer of ammunition to minors, something that should have been done long ago. But more than that, and some of what we're talking about today, is how do we continue to have a violence prevention focus to what we're doing? We recognize that having enough laws, having enough jail spaces, all these other solutions we've been trying for decades won't be enough. We need to invest in our community, and we need to be real about the fact that gun homicides, gun suicides, and gun tragedies are a real problem in this city, and they are a big part of why we continue to see this trend of increasing homicides year after year.
And the conversation you were having today includes Moms Demand Action, and Moms Demand Action has a history of focusing on school shootings and violence with our youth. How does that translate to working on a municipality?
Yes, well, thank you for that. Absolutely, we focus on school shootings, but we also look at the totality, as the mayor said, of all of the indicators when we think about homicides, when we think about suicides, we think about domestic violence, and even in unsecure storage in homes. So our volunteers are all across the country, right here in this good city, and we roll up our sleeves every day, particularly wanting to focus and center survivors of gun violence and the folks that are impacted disproportionately by this crisis. Those include Black and brown communities. So it's been great, and we'll continue to work closely with the mayor to make sure that we have common sense solutions that are going to save our communities.
We've seen community groups rally and gather time and time again to say enough is enough, and we've heard enough is enough to know that something needs to be done here. Let's talk just about the logistics of this, because you and the new council swear in today. Congratulations. The state effectively, though, runs the police department. This is something you and I have talked a lot about before. There's the Board of Police Commissioners. Is there a barrier there when it comes to taking action just statutorily? And then how do you and the new council have a workaround?
Sure, there's a challenge, but the reality of being a mayor, and something I've learned frankly from Moms Demand, and I think part of that group's origins was to say that we know there are challenges, but we're still going to try to get stuff done, because there are still people who are dying, who are being hurt on our streets each day. So we will use influence through every avenue we can. When we talk about safe storage for guns, that's not really so much as a law that we're putting in place here in Kansas City. It's reminding people of the harms that can be wrought by leaving guns out. When we talk about some of the ordinances that we're passing, we're working within Missouri's preemption laws to try to get them passed. And so for us, we recognize the challenges, but we're saying in spite of them, we will do better. Because the 116, I believe, homicides, perhaps more with this morning, as we just heard, are irreversible tragedies, and they're the sort of thing we have to be committed to stopping.
We know that Governor Laura Kelly is going to be part of this too. Was Governor Parson invited to this? Have you heard of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I invited Governor Parson to the inauguration and to our festivities. He came to Kansas City late last week. We continue to have a strong working relationship, however, probably disagreeing on some of these issues. That said, we'll work with anybody, Democratic or Republican or independent, to make sure we're addressing these concerns long term. All
right, Mayor Quinton Lucas, Angela Farrell-Zavala, thank you so much for having this conversation and continued conversation later this morning, which we'll have on KMBC 9 News.